Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here tonight to talk to you about a very serious topic. Microtech. In particular, the SOCOM Alpha Mini. We think it's pretty cool. Let's look at it.
All right. So, this is the, I'm just finding out that this is the SOCOM Alpha Mini. I was just under the impression, and then I realized that it is quite a bit smaller than the SOCOM Alpha, which makes sense why they call it the Alpha Mini. We brought the Auto for a size comparison, so people could kind of see the difference, but
I think bronze hardware is pretty.
So it's part of the Signature series, and I ordered this under the
Signature
pretense that this was a mini SOCOM folding, whether it's auto or manual. I was like, oh, they're bringing back the mini SOCOM. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's still expensive, but I mean, it's Signature series, whatever. And then
I thought it'd be bigger than like the Mini UDT or something.
yeah. And I ordered it, and it showed up, and Astro texted me and said that it showed up, and it was this, and I was like, what? I ordered a fixed blade.
It is
Microtech,
cool, though.
and then I saw it, and I was like, "This is pretty cool."
I was gonna say, and then you saw it, and you're like,
then I
you know
was
what?
like, I might need one of these, and then someone bought it.
Yeah, and then it sold in like 4.5 hours.
Yeah. So the customer who bought it was nice enough to bring it back for this video, which I really appreciate it. Thank you. I dig it. I would probably not be much of a Microtech Facebook, but the arbiter and the Curhi and the crosshair.
No, I agree.
And the EDO.
And even the spec sheet says mini, and I'm like, you know what? Just look at the spec sheet, be like, no. But then you hold it in your hand, you're like,
It's so
actually,
comfy.
yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it is really comfy.
Yeah.
It's really good in the hand.
It's
And in fact,
M390.
even this little chamfer that they have in the carbon fiber, like it fits really well. You can really get a good purchase on that thing.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Is it left and right? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So it's ambidextrous.
Yeah, it's
carry,
ambidextrous for sure.
Sheath and knife itself.
What is it?
Oh,
204p.
it's 203.
Yeah, that's Carpenter.
Yeah. I dig it. I think it's great. I think it's a really
Also
good
204p.
Oh, okay.
carryable size for Microtech.
I agree.
It's not something that was on their inventory list, for one, but it was sort of a fun thing to get in our last order,
Yeah.
which we've been getting more and more Microtechs, and we've had access to more Microtechs, so it's really
Yeah.
nice to be able to get more stuff in rather than wait for stuff on our back order.
Yeah.
The ordering system has changed, so we get to dictate what we get, and sometimes what we order is not what we think we're getting, but
Yeah.
it's fun anyways. We're stocking the shelves and keeping
Well, we're
Microtechs in.
always interested in ordering the rarer stuff, or even the stuff that wouldn't normally go out to everybody.
Yeah.
We're always interested in that because we're one of, if not the only dealer up in Alaska, so we
are
try
the
to get in as much as we
biggest,
possibly can. But
for
we
sure.
yeah. And we try to get in as much as we can, but Microtech's in high demand, so and we're a big fish in a small pond, and so they're not necessarily interested in our small pond. But what I was really put off by at first was the specialty bits on the tech lock, and then we recently discovered that there is Phillips head on the underside.
Thank goodness.
So
Put some duct tape on the other side, just crank away.
Put some duct tape on there, push down, and just pull it off.
Do you think that they chose those heads on the other side just for show?
No, I mean, why not?
think so.
Right, because it
Yeah.
matches the hardware.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it brings Microtech flair to the sheet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they even
really cool.
use the bottom release tech lock
Yeah.
rather than using the standard safety lock and pinch.
Yeah.
Well, and those are opposite bits of what you would get in the DOC and the kill switch. Is that opposite because it's an inset, not a...
Oh yeah, shit. You know what?
Because I know
don't know.
that
I have
is
to go
that
back and
tri-bit,
look.
'cause I remember
it is the
having
tri-bit, yeah, for sure.
take it apart, or trying to take it apart at one point and realizing we didn't have that bit.
We do have the larger tri-bit bits
Yeah.
now.
But I remember one of them we did not have for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember if it was the DOC or the kill switch or the whale shark or one of those oddball folders that they had.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's the pivot on the DOC was the opposite of this. It was
Yes.
inset.
Yeah.
We do actually have this bit.
Yeah.
And we do have the DOC pivot now.
Oh, we do,
We
okay.
didn't
Yeah.
at the time, but we do have it now.
We've worked really hard to find all the bits and keep
It's not
hold of
been
all of them.
easy. We even have bits like you go back even into like the early 2000s, even late 90s. We still have
When they sold a bit kit
when they
for
still
it.
sold the bit kits. I mean, we have probably 30. We have 30
most
different
common
Microtech
ones.
bits. We
I
have
think
most all of them.
The handle one is the only one we don't have, but you could probably do that with pliers that come down to a really fine.
Or the little spanner bits that
Yes,
only have
spanner
two.
wrenches,
We could
yes.
definitely make those fit.
Yeah.
And that just makes me notice here on the auto
The
that we brought for
T10.
size comparison. Yeah, it's T10, T15,
Yeah, it's
something
a
like
pretty
that.
Big one.
Which and almost this entire knife is all put together with standard hardware.
Yeah.
Which is a departure.
It's a little hard for them, yeah.
Which I wonder why. I wonder if it's because the side open autos. I mean, these are side open autos are so easy to repair. Why would they bother having them sent back when they could just have dealers service them? Like, if this has a problem, there's a 90% chance that we can fix this, as long as it doesn't have this kind of hardware.
Well,
so
and I think the kill switch had that really random hardware that was opposite to this, the inset bit, and we couldn't fix anything. It was just like beyond.
It
our
took us.
repair.
It took us a little while to hunt down the bit to actually take that pivot apart, which was the main. I mean, if you can't take apart the pivot, good luck fixing an
There's
auto.
no way.
But I like it. I think it's a really fun knife. It's a good size. They are everything that is coming out is M390 or 204P. I don't know if they've done anything in 20 CV yet. I guess I haven't paid.
I haven't seen anything
I don't
20
think
CV
so,
yet.
yeah.
We'd have to go
But-
look upstairs and check. Honestly, I don't bother checking.
I know we don't have anything upstairs at 20 CV.
Okay.
Do you remember, like, 6 years ago when we started carrying Microtechs heavily again, and we would get combat Trodons, which were like $400 at the time, which was expensive, and they were ATS 34.
We get ATS 34, but then the next ones would show up and they'd be S30.
Yeah, or somewhere else. We're like, "Whoa, this is great!"
Yeah.
So it's like a random assortment, and now they're normalizing their steel, and like the product comes out, and the ordering system is a lot more normal too. So I'm really have high hopes for Microtech. Being, I think we are the biggest dealer up here, and our new contact at Microtech is great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, well, and even as big, even though we're the biggest one in the state, we're not a giant Microtech dealer. But it's not for like a trying though. It's I mean we'll I mean if it's made available to us, we'll buy it. There's almost nothing that they sell that we won't buy.
Yeah.
The first one sold in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
This we had on the shelf for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we opened up, dude walked in, gone.
Yep. He bought a couple Microtechs too.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, not including all that, I pick it up, and I like the attention to detail that they've rounded off the top here, so it's not going to bruise your hand if you're using it. Honestly, this just looks like a really well thought out hunting knife that's got a little bit of flair to it.
I don't know many Microtechs are actually used. Most of them are like safe queens.
queens?
Yeah.
Like this.
Wait. I used mine.
You are the exception.
Oh shit!
And you
I
are
don't know
as
where
well.
mine is.
It's upstairs somewhere.
Or you cut stuff, cut limes with it.
I think I cut a line with it, so it's over there.
But no, I'm looking at this, and I just the angles fit really well in my hand. I like that they've rounded off all the edges where your thumb or your hand's going to rest, and they've done a lot on ergonomics.
The
It's
fit,
really
the
well
fit and
done.
finish and the attention to detail is. I mean, Microtech's always had.
It's always pretty dang good.
Yeah, they've always had some top notch.
And you were saying that a couple of the head engineers from Microtech left and started their own company. So for this sort of product to still come out of Microtech is quite impressive.
Yeah,
And
it's
how
very
much
nice. I like
was
it a
this?
lot.
Because you made the tag for it. Was it under
Put me on the
$4?
spot. It was under 4, but I don't remember exactly the price.
I mean,
Well,
it was-
can you Google it and maybe put it up here?
It was every other price that you would find online.
Sure.
Because
Okay.
all prices on Microtechs have normalized over the years.
Yeah.
And it was pretty affordable.
They have a pricing policy that's very clean and distinguished now, whereas before it wasn't as such, but it was a little bit more. You had to kind of guess, and you kind of had to figure out what the internet was doing, and then you kind of had to fucking go along those internet pricing guidelines, which is fine. It's just a little more work for us. But once they put out a hard line and said like, "This is how you price them," it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then we just do that. You know,
What I'm-
whatever they're requesting. We can accommodate. We just kind of have to know.
Well, see, I'm not normally a fixed blade person, but I really like this knife.
It fits well, doesn't it?
It does. It's so comfy, and like any way you hold it, if you do this or that or backwards,
Even with
They rounded all
It's
the
not
surfaces
quite
that your hand
one.
would go on.
well, even with the this isn't a massive hilt, but even like how good a purchase you can get on this, it doesn't feel like you could do some slip up over.
No.
It really doesn't feel like that at all.
There's some pretty
Even though
impressive
it's
jimping.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's, I mean, and I think that makes up for how smooth the scales are.
Yep.
That just the aggressive jimping on the side, it really doesn't feel like it's going anywhere.
I think-
especially if you had some gloves on, there's no way. I mean, you could put it a half inch into the table with a decent set of gloves.
This is probably one of my favorite fixed blades that they've come out with in the last like 5 years.
I agree.
On like everything that I could.
The
possibly
Arbiter
imagine.
was impressive, but I think this is more useful.
This is this is such a better size, and just like anybody could have one. The Jagdmandos.
Jagdmandos.
Mini is great for breaking windshields. The ADO didn't really have a purpose.
I missed that.
The Tacky even like is a new one, and there's no real purpose for that. I mean, it's pretty cool and all, but it's just
It's a
like
straw.
one.
It's
one
a blood straw.
But there's no like. If you want to put your mouth on the end of that thing and like cut your tongue, that sounds great.
No, I mean,
used to,
you just stab someone and,
the
it
blood
spurts right
flows
out.
right
Well,
out.
it does have like holes that can allow the blood to flow.
I used to have a mini Jagdmando hanging from my the center rear view of my truck,
Oh my god.
and so you just kind of unscrew. You know, it was basically for looks. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna like, oh wait, hold on, I'll get you.
Give me a minute.